All right. Men won't break up with you. They'll just turn extremely toxic. Women won't break up with you. They'll just find someone else.
Agreed.
Interesting. We'll
That's
we'll
coming
skip
from
over.
long-term, I've experienced dating. Okay.
Go ahead.
I love masculinity and I love men, but I will never blame women for the state of society. We should all acknowledge the need to do better on both sides, but it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, men lead and women follow.
Yes.
But you'll never blame women.
I will sit here and have a conversation one-on-one with somebody and tell her the woes of what she's doing for society.
But it's ultimately at the end of the day, it's men's fault.
Yeah. And I'm not a feminist. I love men.
Okay.
I love men and I respect women.
Well, let me ask you this. So you're conservative, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and I'm not advocating that we necessarily do this, but it would be the case, for example, if, and again, I'm not advocating for this, if we were to pull back women's ability to vote, well, conservative parties would start winning elections. Would you be in favor of that?
Yeah, I think majority of women think emotionally, and emotions don't have a place in governing society. So
you want to repeal the 19th?
I personally don't, because I as an individual, I like the way I vote. I think I vote good for society.
So let's say there's a 40-year-old man who's very well versed in politics. He has a deep understanding of various political issues. He researches various, the positions of his local politicians, his state politicians, and his federal politicians. He's smart. He's well researched. If you want men to lead, how can we lead if an 18-year-old woman who has no knowledge of politics can essentially neutralize that 40-year-old man's vote?
I agree.
By voting for the opposite of whatever he votes for.
I agree.
Why is it any different as an 18-year-old woman versus an 18-year-old man? I feel like both of them will have the same.
Because men are more likely, like even at 18 years old, to like not vote.
I don't know what.
Like the
not
wrong.
Vote?
No.
Or
not vote in ways that are not like I said, women are just more emotional. They're more likely to vote for like social welfare, things that are maybe bad for the economy.
I don't know what 18-year-old boys you were hanging out around, but the 18-year-old boys I was around, I wouldn't want them voting on these issues either. They were not doing their due diligence. Not saying that women were.
No, I mean, at the end of the day, the voting age should be like 25.
Exactly. I don't think this should be a gendered argument. I think this is an argument over the voting age is too young, if anything.
Wait,
but then it's
pull
like
up
if we
the
were
tweet
legal
again.
adults
Pull up the
at
tweet
18,
again.
I do think we should have that right. So it's like,
okay.
That's
At the end of the day, men lead and women follow. Well, one issue that I do see is that, and this is kind of even within the realm of relationships, but in order to be a leader, there has to be people who are willing to follow you. Because if everybody's just mutinous, not willing to follow, then you can't lead. Like in the dance, if somebody's the leader, they have to follow. If you're both trying to lead, it's fucked up. And so it occurs to me that even women will say they want a leader, but they're not prepared to follow.
I think maybe the person they're following isn't respectable enough.
Well, no, because with feminism, it's like implanted this other programming of like, don't listen to men.
Right.
Men are evil.
We're at an extreme.
We're
at an
feminists,
extreme
though.
at this point in society, unfortunately.
Like I'm trying to think of an example here, but like I remember I was dating this girl a long time ago, and I was like, I was sick or something, and been dating her for months, and I was like, hey, can you make me some food or something? Politely. But I was like, hey, I'm not feeling good. Can you go make me some food? Even when I was sick, and she's like, kind of like the feminist gears were turning, like, should I do this labor for my boyfriend? Like he's asked, and like, that's how it is a lot of time. Perhaps, I don't know, but.
That is not a woman that is willing to serve her man. That is not. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if she was a woman willing to serve her man, she would have cooked for him Because he was sick
Without
before,
asking.
yeah.
You shouldn't
Yeah.
ask these things beforehand, though. You can tell what kind of girl wouldn't serve you, wouldn't do things for you. Like, do you like to cook and clean? If her answer is, I'm not a slave, you already know right then and there
Yeah.
she's not that type of girl. What's your relationship
This
like
was
with your
years
dad
ago
or brothers? Before you knew all this?
You know, before I learned things.
Yes. Learn the ways of
Learn
the
the
world.
ways of the monks. All right.